Good day, everybody. I'm joined by Mr. Whitney, and this is by no way a professional video. We are just two guys that plays Satisfactory, and we've did a complete run through of this game from start to end. And when we started out, we knew very little, and we learned and grew as we did, and we blew stuff up like that. Boom. In your face. Say hello, sir.
Good morning. You gotta do a better explosion than that. No, that's fine. That's just
okay. Go for it. Go for it.
I'm only backing up for visual effects.
It's just radioactive.
I'm not nervous at all.
Booyah. Yeah, that's nuclear. Right there for you.
Yeah.
Okay, Ada is telling me that dying is an inefficient way of using Ficsit resources. She's quite right.
It's true, but we're very well practiced at it.
Yes. Okay, everybody. So what we did initially was trying to figure out where we want to build everything. And it was a pain keeping track of stuff. And Mr. Whitney started building a building on top of a hill. And then we decided, let's make a hub where we can keep track of everything. So if I take a look at screws over here, you'll see that we updated this last on 30th of December 2024. And we are creating 1,900 per minute, sending out 1,300 to various other items like the heavy modular frames and so forth. So anyway, and I think this was probably the single best thing that we could have done, sir.
Yeah, I don't know that I possibly could have kept it straight in my head without it. We barely kept it straight with it.
Yeah, even on paper, I mean, it would have been a major effort just to keep track of what goes where. And obviously, this thing wasn't the perfect hub that we envisioned it to be. I mean, there were still some problems we needed to keep track of. And we've got deficiencies like the one that I'm just pointing out there. But I think in the bigger picture, it worked quite well. So we did name it. We call this the Collaboratorium because it's a collaboratory project. Where's the name? I don't think we've put up the name somewhere.
No, that sounds about right. Partially done and half thought out.
But it worked. So, yeah. So we are going to showcase a map to you guys. Let me just quickly go into my map. There's a lot of stuff happening. You'll see we've got a lot of trains, a lot of drones, a lot of trucks running around. And it's impossible to show everything. None of those trains are stuck. Say again?
None of those trains are stopped right now. That's got to be a record.
None, yeah. We've fixed the issues we had with derailing and stuff. There was a few minor incidents. But we are going to showcase some of the factories. It's impossible to showcase everything. There's a lot happening on this map. We started this project, I think, in July 24. No, it wasn't July. It was September 24. And we ended round about the end of June 25. So obviously we did work on it as time allowed. We are both busy when we are busy and sleeping when we are sleeping. Anything you want to add, sir?
I was looking before we logged in at how many hours we're at now.
Yeah.
Care to take a guess? It's not a nice number. It kind of makes me sad.
1,200 perhaps.
Oh, good. You overguessed. Now I feel slightly better. It was 8. We're at 800, which 800. Combined. Yeah. And to be fair, there were a few times I logged in and then walked away, and the counter kept ticking while I was just AFK. But
yeah,
still, overall it was a lot.
Yeah. So I just want to quickly tell everybody about our, let's call it our traveling arrangement in the game. So very early on in the game, we realized that running back and forth on this map is a huge pain in the ass because the map's so big. For somebody that does not know Satisfactory, I'm zooming in where we are, and that small piece that you're seeing there is just the 10, 15 meters around me. So this is a huge, huge map. And the starter factories is right up there where I'm clicking at the moment. So running around on this map is going to take forever. And early on in the game, you need to get resources. You need to get concrete. You need to get iron stuff, copper stuff, anything that you need to build with. So we decided to exploit, don't tell Ficsit, we decided to exploit a game mechanic in which you could go into your menu and choose to respawn. And that would respawn you back at the hub, which is this place where I'm standing at the moment. And obviously, if you respawn in this bedroom type place. There's a bed. I think there's a toilet. You could actually use a toilet, but we won't do that at the moment. And then you'll see days since last incident, and it's on 1. And there's a reason for that, and I just explained it. So, sir, I don't know how many times I've died in this game, but it's been a lot.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So what we did then was to create a few hypertube cannons, and that would take us anywhere in the world that we want to fly to. Close by is just below us. Then vertical, we'll take vertical in a minute. Rocky desert, starter bases, desert, grasslands, and then the Blue Crater. And this thing worked a charm. I think we would have gone crazy without it. Initially, we did drive around the place in trucks and explorers, but I mean, just the sheer amount of traveling that you need to do in this game is unbelievable. So something else I want to show you guys is the highway that we built. This was a huge project, driven mostly by Mr. Whitney. I did build at least a quarter of it myself, and then aided in linking up a bunch of stuff. And we'll take a look at the highway in a minute. But we did circle the entire world with this. It went all the way through. We had to find places where we could loop it through. And let me just zoom in for you guys. Goes all the way there through the mountains over there. And on the way of the starter bases, through the Rocky Desert, all the way around. And it joins back up on this side. All right. So huge effort. I don't even know what the amount of resources was that went into this, because that was built early game and we did not have enough of anything to really make it. And we did not have dimensional depots available yet. So there was a lot of running back and forth to the starter bases to pick up stuff. Using tractors, using the little buggy. So yeah, that was a big effort. All right, so we opted for pillars, obviously, and then pipes. I'll never do pipes again. The initial thought was, if we need to transport anything around the world, we can use the pipes. That is so impractical. It's actually laughable that we wanted to include it in the from the start, but anyway, we did. It's there. So then the frame, obviously, for the roads, everything with the highlighted label signs. And just be wary. Signs like these could cause your computer to lag a bit if your computer's not strong enough. All right, and then lastly, the third floor for the trains, which the trains run on, we opted for a right-hand system, as you can see with this train coming through. And then up here on the highest point we did for hypertubes. And for hypertubes can actually take you around the entire world all the way in loops if you really want to. It takes about 4 or 5 minutes to circle the entire world. But yeah, that's the transport system that we opted for. And this thing worked a charm to get everything where it needs to go. We needed to include slightly larger sections like this for circles. And 1 or 2 places we needed to use some spirals to get trains up and down. But everything fit quite nicely into this. One thing that we did not do, though, was line up with the world border. Not the world border, the world grid. And there's ways to connect so that it does not even seem like you're not on the world grid. The world grid, in my opinion, is not that important. The only place where it becomes really important is if you want to link up a factor like that to the one below. But that rarely happened on our side, and where we did want to do it, we just made it work. So let's fly over to the starter bases. That's where our journey started. And let's showcase those puppies to you. Mr. Whitney will be doing the overview of his factory, which was a copper one to the right-hand side, and I did this blocky left-hand factory, the big one, which was all iron, screws and sheets and stuff like that. So initially we started up on this hill. This was our starter location, slightly inland, but we came over here just to get a bit more space to build. And obviously, when we started out, this entire place was empty. So we opted for a logistic floor and then obviously the production floor. So this is all iron plates, and we did quite a lot on these. So everything that's green is running, the rest is not. And that's basically because we did not upgrade all the machines as we needed to, because we did have enough of everything. So obviously one floor follows on the next. So those are sheets. These are screws, so that's logistics over there, with the exits right there at the back. And then obviously the production floor. Same on this side for iron rods. Logistics again going up and down. And production again. Apologies. Empty floor just because we did not need to put in a full floor of logistics, because we needed to bring some stuff up here so that we could make reinforced iron plates. And then the reinforced iron plates were taken over to modular frames, and that was the entirety of this factory.
It's interesting looking back at this. I opted for quite an interesting color combination here. It's a lot for the eyes to take in, but the sign here still just as effective and appropriate as always.
Studies show missing limbs reduce workplace efficiency and lower company profits. It sure does.
Please use caution. Yeah. Also over here, this is also still true.
Pretty sure this is radioactive.
So I'm sure you said the same on yours, but when we started building these, the whole goal initially was just to build big. And to me, I didn't have any perception on how big really was. So I just kind of went all out. And looking back at it, this factory is massive, especially for a first factory. We spent so much time on these. It's kind of crazy to think about.
Yes, we did. But also, you need to mention, we did not have most of the building materials initially.
No.
As you progress through the game, you get more and more as you upgrade it. So that's definitely something to cope with.
Right. And I also remember at the beginning, we had a lot of color wars when we discovered that there were different colors to paint things. So like from here, if we look over at your building, there's a very specific green panel on the second level of your building from the top. I don't know if you see that.
Oh yeah.
that you never caught.
No,
and I'm sure going through mine, we'll find things that are discolored, pink or something randomly.
It might happen.
Yeah. So within mine, I know for every level, I purposely chose to color the machines in a way that allowed us to scale up easily. So the first level of miners is all green, and then when we unlocked miner 2, all you have to do is connect all the yellow ones, and then when it gets to miner 3, you connect the red, and then miner 4 is pink, and miner 5 is blue. So that everything was already lined up. So I know that was not that we ended up needing to do much of that, but the idea I think was cool. And right on cue, here's a random blue panel. Thanks, Vessel.
So I just lost you. Where are you at the moment?
right behind you.
Yeah.
This is blue.
Regarding the levels, just something that I observed in my starter factory as well is I never upgraded beyond, I think, tier 3 or 4 at least at the most. We did not end up needing that many items,
No, we never connected a lot of it, but it was there if we needed it.
This is such a nice skylight.
This was my very first attempt at anything decorative. These like little antennas at the top.
Oh yeah.
Pretty rudimentary looking back at it now, but I think it's for a first attempt. I'm happy with it.
It's still working, yeah. Ooh, nice. I've got the sun on the tip right there.
Well, I remember when we first built these, looking out here, and there was nothing. There was no train network. There's no the spiral over there. Like none of this stuff existed.
Yeah.
Now you've got the nuclear plant in the distance and a whole lot more in between.
Yeah. And this factory does everything copper sheets and the rest.
All the things, all the copper things. I like floating down and looking at this factory because I tried to build this in a way that wasn't just a big rectangle. They had different levels and layers, almost like a skyscraper would. Granted, it's not that big, but you get the idea.
It's big enough.
And then down at the bottom here, there were columns that were supporting this final layer. But some train and engineer came along and chopped them out for truck efficiency or something.
Truck efficiency and logistics.
yeah. Don't worry about the building collapsing. Just as long as the trucks will run.
Yeah. The interesting thing, I don't know if you remember, when we started with this truck station, everything, we basically had problems fitting everything. We couldn't fit everything in here, as well as the train stations up above, And that's one of the reasons why the pillars had to go.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, let me show you the fuel distribution that we've come up with. In the early game, this was early game, basically because we only had tractors and trucks, and we needed to have a dedicated fuel distribution system because otherwise we run out of fuel. So I built this factory. It's not enclosed or everything. We opted to leave it like that. And that takes all the raw materials that it gets in and produces normal fuel that can be used by the trucks. And then it goes to this distribution depot, and each and every one of these is just full of fuel. And then obviously a truck is assigned to a specific truck station, and it picks up some of this packaged fuel and take it out to whichever factories out there need fuel. Okay, guys, I'm flying over to the steel factory. That's steel pipes and stuff like that. I will get there in a sec and I'll talk to you again. So I landed right above the steel factory, and this thing is all steel. Steel beams, steel pipes. That's going to be used in a lot of other manufacturing processes. Let's just fly down quickly. Okay, so we're at standstill. You'll see it's a steal of a deal. No pun intended. So this entire thing produces all the steel products, as I said. This is converting iron ingots and coal into steel ingots. And then on this side, the steel ingots is converted into the steel pipes. And on the other side, it's converted into steel beams. I don't need to show that to you now. It's exact same layout. And then Mr. Whitney built the entire factory for us. So as far as cooperation and working together on projects went, I'm definitely more of a logistical and technical guy, and Mr. Whitney is more the artistic guy. So he built this entire frame and put everything in, lighting as well. For myself, I'm not the strongest with bolts. I do push myself to learn a bit, but it takes much more effort for me to build something like this. So I could do all the logistics floors, all the machines, work out all the ratios, get everything correct. And let's just see how much this thing makes. 42 from 28, 28. All right. Anyway, the ratios down the line mattered, so it works. And then obviously we used trains as well. After we got the trains to also take out stuff to our factory. So we've got a steel beam station over here. And we've also linked up some dimensional depots so that we can access inventory through our inventory, like that.
Yeah, so on this one, I took a picture of the motors and thought it'd be kind of cool to build a factory that looked like the thing you were building.
Yeah.
And it felt like the general shape of this wasn't so crazy that it felt impossible, but also wasn't so simple that it would be just a box. So this whole front part, the glass at the front, I am super proud of. I think this came out really cool. Yeah. And it's just a ton of those beams, the orange beams, but then I used a lot of different kind of creative, tricky ways to snap them together so that it made what looks like one solid piece on all sorts of different axes.
Yeah, just take a look at this. I've got a motor on the ground here. So looking at this front face, I mean, that looks more or less the same. I know that you had to do this with beams. I know there's a ton of beams in there.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot. And I wanted it to look interesting. So I didn't copy it exactly, but had the general idea.
Yeah. I remember the first day that you started working on this, and it was just on this phase. I was like, what? Because obviously the rest of the body wasn't built. It was only the surrounding beams, not even the middle part, you know. And obviously, without knowing what you were aiming for, I just let you be. And obviously, this was the result. So I think it's a job well done.
I love that the entire inside is gold too. Something about that's really satisfying to me. So when you come in the front door and it's very open, there's only a handful of machines. So it makes this whole front part with the kit, I think it's Caterium floors. Just, I don't know, this is very satisfying to me walking down here with the yellow lights.
Yeah.
Everything feels gold plated.
Yeah. I actually never realized it was gold plated. Okay.
Yeah.
Normally I'm the logistical guy, just running in to see how many items there are, not even looking at the color scheme.
Mm-hmm. And then this down below part here, I was also really proud of. I feel like this was fitting a lot of different things, is in and out, kind of all happening in one space. And it's kind of like a couple octopus floating around in here.
Just get that sign up there. Yeah, the Royal Rotor, the best in the West. That's a nice logo.
It's the garage area, so to speak, that I was really happy with. Although the red lights are maybe not the best color choice. I don't even know where that's coming from.
Yeah, there's a light panel somewhere. I'm quite sure this was green though. I'm not sure.
Right. That's why I'm so I thought
if it was red. I'm just going to quickly check the inside of the factory. I think this was also one of the first. Well, there's a tree here. This was not here before.
There's a tree in the factory?
Yeah. Well, it's showing for me. But anyway, I think this was one of the first factories where we put in the catwalks as well.
It might be, yeah. I would say that's one thing in this map. Oh, check the top floor or second floor. I see it looks like it goes in there. I feel like if we were to play again at some point, one thing I'd really want to do a better job of is organizing our power grid.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
If you hadn't already talked about it, that day that you came online and everything was overpowered, and it was the random batteries we stuck in that saved us from colossal meltdown across the whole map.
Yeah. No, that's definitely something that we did not pay attention to at all. That's power grid. Definitely.
Yeah.
We did try to keep the power neat in a factory, like the layout that's over here, but definitely not organized in such a way so that we could handle any catastrophes and stuff like that. So the next factory that I want to showcase is the Alclad sheets over there. And then on the other side, the Alclad casings, aluminum casings over here. And then obviously we've got two beautiful spirals on either side of the highway going to each factory. So let's just do the aluminum casings first. We opted to bring in raw materials from the hills. So those are being delivered at that train station and then brought down by conveyor belts. And geez, this was a lot of work. There's a problem with a factory like this in the sense that your water is not always used up. Some of it's recycled. And then you need to balance the entire system because otherwise it's going to block the system, obviously. And if it falls, nothing else is running and you've got a problem. So we made a lot of water bottles that's been brought in, and you can see there it's packaged. These are going out again to be redistributed, but the empty canisters is just filled with the excess water from the factories itself so that we do not block the entire system and everything comes to a standstill. And then on this side, we've got the silica and the empty canisters coming in as well. So as the game progressed, obviously we incorporated some drones, and the drone ports is quite helpful for just moving stuff around. There's no drone up here at the moment, but anyway. And yeah, this is just the fastest way of distributing anything, even though a drone can't take that many. So if I take a look at my map, you'll see there's drones everywhere. And I'm not even sure how many drones we have running at the moment, but it's quite a lot. Okay, so this factory is also making the aluminum sheets. So there's some aluminum scrap being made by the machine over here and the refinery, and it throws out excess water, and that water is being redistributed back into the system, and sometimes causes some problems, but we managed to at least keep this flow going. As long as the scrap is moving, the aluminum sheets will keep on coming out, and that's the factories over here that takes the scrap and the silica and makes the aluminum sheets, aluminum ingots, for us. The ingots is then taken down all the way to these guys back here. And the assemblers then assemble that with copper ingots into Alclad aluminum sheets. And the copper is coming from that factory back there. Okay, so that was aluminum sheets for you. And aluminum sheets is used in quite a few other processes throughout the game. And it's one of those things that you absolutely can't go without. Otherwise, you're never going to level up for your next tier. So I'm going to fly over to the quartz and desert factories and showcase those to you guys. I'll be with you in a sec. All right, everybody, we are in the beautiful desert. This is probably one of the most beautiful locations for me, even though there's nothing yet, just sand. And yeah, I love a desert. It's one of those places where I can come and rest if I really need to. So this is a Crystal Oscillator factory. We are obviously bringing in the raw materials, and we are building the crystal oscillators in this facility. So let's just take that out and see quartz cable, reinforced iron plates coming in. And obviously the cable and the reinforced iron plates are coming from the starter factories, and the quartz are being mined just on the outside next to that hill. Anyway, so trains are bringing stuff in. This is taking oscillators out. And yeah, this factory was built by myself, and I also did the decorations on this. So played around with a few shapes. As you guys already know, not my strong suit, but we do try. Right, so I'm in the Blue Crater at the moment. The resources in the Blue Crater are so extensive that you can actually build quite a big power facility in here, but we opted not to do that. We've got other power systems and facilities and factories going, so we've got more than enough power. So the Blue Crater factories on this side produces a few different things, and on this side you'll see that we've got plastic going up and down, and we just take the crude oil that's available on this side, convert that into plastic and heavy oil residue. That is then being taken to these refineries. The heavy oil residue gets mixed with packaged water, and that makes packaged fuel, which is then redistributed through to other facilities that need fuel. And some of that is being done over here. So we take the plastic that gets thrown out by those guys over there, convert those into empty canisters. They go into this train station, and they're taken out of the system to another factory where they get packaged water from. The packaged water are being packaged in the Alclad sheets factory and in the Alclad canister area. And then it's brought back so that these guys can use the packaged water to package the fuel. All right. So that's where some of the fuel on this side comes from. They can just fly through this thing. These are being sunk, there's too much of it. And then this is distributing some of the plastic that's in excess. And on this side, we are making black powder, smokeless powder. So black powder are being converted into smokeless powder, which is used in some of your dynamites and stuff like that. And that's part of the factory on this side. And then this train station, we opted to let the train just dip underneath the water. I think that worked out quite nicely, because it's not something that one normally do. This was built by Mr. Whitney, and he called it Infusion, which is quite the creative name for it. And we use the blenders in here to make fused modular frames. So heavy modular frames are being brought in from the desert, aluminum casings from the wastelands, and then nitrogen gas that we harvest from a node just on that side of grasslands. All right. But yeah, beautiful build. I love how it came out. Mr. Whitney did a beautiful job on this, and also the open roofs that you can see is for the drones to go through. Okay, where are you at the moment?
Right in front of the main entrance.
Over here. Okay. All right, sir, take it away.
Okay. So we are at our first attempt ever, I think, doing a nuclear power plant.
Yes.
And I only died. Well, I died a lot of times, but it looks good at the end. So we'll take it. So I decided when I built this, I really wanted to focus on this one actually looking good, because a lot of times we just built a shell and threw things inside of it. So in building this, I wanted to have something that actually looked interesting all the way down through. So there's kind of a unique design to every element. And if you get up high, where you can actually see, like if we climb up one of these guys, we can see that each area, I didn't just connect things with conveyor belts directly. I did a lot more up and over the top of things, or cutting through the middle of items, just because I thought it looked more neat, not because it functionally is any better. I just thought it looked cool.
I actually did not realize that the catwalk was up here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Another one of those things that just I thought looked neat. I think I did this just on this first one. Maybe I did it on the second one too, but I didn't carry this all the way down because this was actually really tricky to put in. There's no natural. You can't naturally just snap to these little grates here.
Oh yeah.
I had to like lay down other things and then connect it.
Yeah. Okay. Can you remember how many power this plant produces?
It's 130,000, I think.
Megawatts.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. And then we made our phases down at the end here so we could build it up stepwise, one section at a time. Basically, before we had the plutonium plant, so we didn't have all of our nuclear waste sitting somewhere for too long.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the nuclear side with nuclear waste, and then the plutonium side, that's running as well.
Yeah, farther down, because we built all the uranium side first, and then obviously unlock plutonium later. And really the goal was, even though we didn't necessarily need that much power at that point in time, I just wanted to get rid of the waste, so I started building it. And then, of course, by the time I finished building it, you had built 500 other things that were taking a huge amount of power, and we were really glad that we got a jump start on it.
We did have some drawdown on power, yeah.
Yeah. This might be my favorite spot in the whole plant. Because you can hear all of the, I don't know if you have audio loud enough to hear it, but if you stand in the middle here, you can hear all of these different things winding up all at once.
Oh yeah, I don't know,
the visual of the battery right in front of you, even though it's not connected to anything, it doesn't do anything. Yeah. But I guess I did connect it, actually. Never mind, it is connected.
Sorry, these particle accelerators go up to what? I think 15,000 megawatts, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, sorry, 2,500. I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's the one on the far right's winding up right now. It's just starting.
Oh, wow.
We're at
I actually forgot how it sounds.
Yeah, so standing in the middle of these when they're all going off is really fun. So I don't know, this is my favorite spot in the whole
You're
plant.
Probably getting radiated just by being here, you know.
Oh yeah.
I don't think
burning through.
I'm not sure filters are going to work.
No. Nope.
Okay, so this is the plutonium side then, and this is producing plutonium power as well.
Yep. And,
wow. 2,500 megawatt per plant. Jeez.
Yeah, there's a lot comes out of here.
Okay.
And then the only downside is then we never did the Fictonium.
Yeah, so that's the thing I wanted to ask now. We never got around to that.
No, so we just have a huge plutonium waste supply backing up somewhere.
Sure, this view is actually incredible.
It makes the map actually seem like not small, but not as big as it feels until you start flying across it. Realize how much is going on.
It's massive. I mean, but yeah, from up here it does not look that big. And the thing is, I don't think we've even used half the nodes on the map, eh?
No, I'm sure not. There's so many.
Yeah. But the guys, the developers have been quite clever with the distribution of the nodes. They really force you to engage the entire map in order to get something done. So, Mr. Whitney, do you want to say something about the dimensional depot?
Yeah. So I didn't get the opportunity to play without it because I was late enough to the game that that feature was already here when I started. But I cannot imagine the nightmare that it must have been for you and other players before that thing existed.
Yeah.
Basically, whenever you have any items, and we unlocked it pretty early game too. Instead of them just living in a container like we have up here, it goes into a container that you can access anywhere, or a series of containers that go to a depot that you can access anywhere. And just scanning through it right now, there's I don't know 100+ items in there that we can grab from anywhere. I early on before we got that running, I know it was a pain. We were working on building the big network of trains that go around the whole map, and the number of times I had to run back and forth to grab more iron or more concrete or whatever we were out of was immense. And the further we got away from our bases, the worse that became because travel times were longer. And it was somewhere right around in there that you finally you built it, the depot, and then everything became so much easier.
Yeah. No, I can tell you, running back and forth before the dimensional depot was, I mean, you could literally play for 3 hours and just do a bit because you run out of resources constantly, you know. And I totally get it why they brought it into the game. And I think that's one of the big plus points at the moment. So yeah, it's definitely worth it.
All right, so you stand there, and I'm going to come down here. I would maybe give a slight amount of distance to the glowing thing behind you. Just that's my recommendation.
I see the glowing thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So our final send off in kind of fitting fashion to the way we've played this game.
Yes.
I'll set off the fireworks behind us.
Yeah. Just before you do, sir, thank you very much for the game. I actually enjoyed this quite a lot. As I mentioned to you earlier, you forget how many hours goes into something like this, and it's just a creative process. You know, I mean, as you know, you're the builder. I'm the logistic type guy. You know, and I think I really did learn a lot from building and infrastructure and everything. So yeah, thank you.
Very good. It was fun. It's gonna be sad to see it go, but I like how we have the aurora up in the sky. It's very nice send off. That's making quite the mosaic on the ceiling.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do this. Is this thing nuclear? What's that?
Listen, you don't worry about that. You just enjoy the show and then get ready to go.
Okay, I might die.
I would give it like maybe like 4 floor tiles of space, maybe 3.
Yeah, I've got 4. Yeah, almost 4 between me and whatever that is.
Right. Yeah, that should be fine. All right, look at me. I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
Ready, set, go. All right, you gotta stay inside the center here.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. Well, that was close. Okay. I'm gonna be so disappointed if I lose this. No.
Well, you're a rebar king.
Oh no! Oh no!
Gotcha.
I'm so disappointed in myself.
You can take your shot. I know you want to.
I do.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much for watching the video. And if we do another video at some point about something, you'll know we've spent a bunch of time on it. So yeah, gotcha. Bye-bye.